Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video from our channel Worldview. In this video, we'll be highlighting American celebrities who have passed away today and in the last few days along with other notable figures from around the world. Before we proceed, we kindly ask you to show your love and support by giving this video a like. It means a lot to us. Thank you. And now let's begin.
1. Alan Blickel, the original drummer and co-founder of the metal band Baroness, has passed away at age 42. The band confirmed the news in a post, calling him a dear friend and creative partner. Blickel was a founding member and played on the acclaimed Red Album Blue Record and Yellow and Green, helping shape the sound that brought Baroness global recognition. The band was even nominated for a Grammy in 2017 for Shock Me. In 2012, the band survived a serious bus accident while touring in the UK. Blickel spent weeks in the hospital with fractured vertebrae and later left the group in 2013. Despite the challenges, he remained active in music, performing with other bands and working as a composer and sound designer. His recent credits included work on the series We Are the Champions and the film Halfway to Amarillo. Blickel's creativity and energy left a lasting impact on everyone who heard his work or shared a stage with him. His legacy lives on through the music and projects he brought to life. 2. Angela Rô, one of Brazil's most groundbreaking singer-songwriters, passed away this Monday, 8 in Rio de Janeiro. Hospitalized since June with a lung infection, she sadly did not recover from the condition's complications. Just weeks shy of turning 76, Angela leaves behind a powerful legacy with more than 100 recordings spread across 14 studio albums and numerous collaborations that mark generations of Brazilian music lovers. A true pioneer, Angela Rô stood out not only for her raw talent, but for breaking barriers in a deeply conservative era. With a raspy voice that earned her the nickname Rô as a child, she made waves by writing and performing her own songs, an uncommon feat for women at the time. Her lyrics were confessional, deeply emotional, and openly queer, challenging cultural norms with tracks like Amore Grande Amore, Balada Arrasada, and Gata Des. Few dared to be so personal. Fewer still so fearless. Her solo debut in 1979 launched her to fame, followed by hits like Sono's Resta Vegan Scandalo and Simply Corinho. With her piano, her voice and her blend of blues, samba canso, and rock, she became one of MPB's most respected voices. Off-stage, Angela was known for her wit, honesty, and refusal to conform. She famously turned down the now iconic song Malandrame, proving once again she lived and sang only by her own truth. 3. Former Palermo Football Club president Paul Baccaglini has passed away at the age of 41. According to Italian media, including Sky TG24, Baccaglini was found in his Milan home by his partner on Tuesday, September 9. Authorities are currently investigating the circumstances surrounding his death. Born in the United States to an American father and Italian mother, Baccaglini built a multifaceted career that spanned television, finance, and professional sports. He gained public recognition in Italy through the popular satirical program Lee, where his sharp wit and charisma quickly made him a standout figure. Following his success in television, Baccaglini shifted into the world of finance, taking on roles as a trader and business investor. In 2017, he stepped into the sports world as president of Palermo FC, bringing with him ambitious plans to revitalize the club. That year, he attempted to purchase a majority stake in Palermo alongside an investment group, aiming to reshape the team's future. However, the deal ultimately fell through and his presidency was short-lived. Despite the brief tenure, his involvement left a mark on the club's modern history and made headlines across Italy's football scene. Baccaglini's life reflected a unique blend of entertainment, entrepreneurship, and sports leadership. His ability to transition across different industries showcased his versatility and ambition. While the details around his passing remain under investigation, the news has prompted messages of shock and remembrance from colleagues and fans alike. He is remembered not just for his public roles, but for the passion and drive he brought to each new challenge he embraced. For Ted Mann, the Emmy-winning writer and producer known for shaping some of television's most acclaimed dramas, has passed away at the age of 72 in Los Angeles. His daughter confirmed that he died on September 4 after a battle with lung cancer. Mann's career began in the 1970s with National Lampoon, where his sharp wit led him to projects like Disco Beaver from Outer Space and Delta House. He later transitioned into crime dramas, contributing to series like Miami Vice and Wise Guy, and even dabbled in animation with Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters. In 1993, Mann joined forces with David Milch and Stephen Bacco on NYPD Blue, becoming a key writer and producer during its early seasons. He received 2 Emmy nominations in Season 1 and later shared a win for Best Drama Series in Season 2. Though he stepped away from producing, Mann continued to write for the show throughout its 12-year run. His collaboration with Milch continued on HBO's Deadwood, where he served as a writer and later producer, earning a WGA award and helping define the show's gritty legacy. Mann's influence stretched across genres from John from Cincinnati to Crash, Hatfields and McCoys, and Homeland, where he wrote 3 episodes and served as consulting producer. With a legacy built on fearless storytelling and genre-defining television, Ted Mann leaves behind a body of work that continues to inspire. He is survived by his wife, children, siblings, and grandchildren who carry forward the memory of a man who helped change the face of modern television. 5. Mark Volman, co-founder of the iconic 1960s rock band The Turtles and one half of the legendary duo Flo and Eddie, has passed away at the age of 78 in Nashville, Tennessee, following a brief illness. Volman's unmistakable voice helped shape classic hits like Happy Together, It Ain't Me Babe, and Eleanor, songs that remain staples of American pop culture. As a performer and harmonizer, he stood at the heart of one of the era's most memorable musical acts, leaving a mark that defined a generation. Following the Turtles' breakup in 1970, Volman and bandmate Howard Kaylan reinvented themselves as Flo and Eddie, touring with Frank Zappa's Mothers of Invention and backing artists like T-Rex and Bruce Springsteen. Their influence reached beyond the stage and into television, contributing music to shows like Strawberry Shortcake. Bowman's career spanned over 5 decades, bridging classic rock, children's programming, and studio collaborations that helped shape modern music history. In a move that inspired many, Volman returned to college in his 40s, earning degrees and later becoming a respected music business professor at Belmont University. Even after being diagnosed with Lewy body dementia in 2020, he continued to share his music and wisdom. His 2023 memoir, Happy Forever, captured his incredible journey, offering a joyful look at a life filled with unforgettable melodies. Volman is survived by his partner Emily, his daughters and his brother, and will be remembered as a joyful trailblazing spirit who lived in harmony with his art. Harold Matzner, a transformative figure in Palm Springs and one of California's most respected philanthropists, passed away on September 4 at the age of 88. For more than 2 decades, Matzner served as the driving force behind the Palm Springs International Film Festival, elevating it into a globally recognized event and key stop on Hollywood's awards season calendar. His dedication both as chairman and major benefactor helped shape the cultural and charitable landscape of the entire Coachella Valley. Matzner donated over $85 million to local nonprofits supporting causes such as Eisenhower Health, the Living Desert, the Macklem Theater, and the Barbara Sinatra Children's Center. His legacy extended far beyond film, touching healthcare, education, LGBTQ+ advocacy, food security, and the arts. He also served as chairman of the Palm Springs Tennis Club and famously named its restaurant Spencer's after his Siberian Husky. Always hands-on, he believed deeply in giving back, saying his joy came from making magic for the people I love. Born in Newark, New Jersey during the Great Depression, Matzner began his career in journalism before founding CBA Industries, a leading direct mail marketing company. Even into his 80s, he remained its CEO. Among many honors, he received the Horatio Alger Award and the Philanthropist of the Year Award. With a star on the Palm Springs Walk of the Stars and the Matzner Tank Pavilion named in his honor, his impact is felt everywhere. He is survived by his partner Shelley, his children and grandchildren, and a community forever changed by his passion and generosity. 7. Graham Greene, the acclaimed Canadian actor and groundbreaking force for Indigenous representation in Hollywood, has passed away at the age of 73 in Toronto following a long illness. Green rose to international prominence for his Oscar-nominated performance as Kicking Bird in Dances with Wolves 1990, a film that won 7 Academy Awards and changed the trajectory of Native American visibility in mainstream cinema. His role was widely praised for its depth and dignity, and it remains one of the most memorable performances in modern film history. Born in Oswakan on Canada's Six Nations Reserve, Green began his artistic journey on stage in the 1970s before moving into television and film. He made his screen debut in the Canadian series The Great Detective and gained recognition in Running Brave before his Hollywood breakthrough. He continued building a remarkable filmography with roles in Maverick, Die Hard with a Vengeance, The Green Mile, Molly's Game, and The Twilight Saga. Breaking Dawn Part 2. Beyond film, Green's television legacy includes Longmire, Goliath, Reservation Dogs, Riverdale 1883, and The Last of Us. Green earned numerous honors throughout his career, including a Grammy, a Gemini Award, and a star on Canada's Walk of Fame. Known for his sharp wit, integrity, and fierce pride in his heritage, he opened doors for generations of Native actors to come. He has survived by his wife Hilary Blackmore and daughter Lily Lazar Green, leaving behind a powerful legacy of authenticity and storytelling. Frank Price, the influential studio executive behind some of Hollywood's most iconic films and television hits, has passed away at the age of 95 in Santa Monica. A rare figure who rose from TV writer to top leadership roles at both MCA, Universal, and Columbia Pictures, Price helped shape the entertainment landscape for more than 5 decades. Under his watch, audiences saw the release of Kramer vs. Kramer, Tootsie, Ghostbusters, The Karate Kid, and Back to the Future, films that not only broke box office records, but became part of cinematic history. Starting in the 1950s as a writer and story editor, Price climbed the ranks of television during the golden age of network TV. He later helmed Universal Television, delivering smash series like K-Jack, The Rockford Files, The $6 Million Man, and The Bionic Woman. Transitioning to film, he led Columbia Pictures through an Oscar-winning era and later oversaw Universal Pictures' biggest successes, including Out of Africa. Though he faced high-profile stumbles like Howard the Duck, his career remained a testament to storytelling instincts and industry leadership. Price remained active well into the 90s with his own production company, producing critically acclaimed and Emmy-nominated works such as The Tuskegee Airmen and Circle of Friends. He served on the boards of the Academy, the MPAA, and the Sundance Institute and mentored future leaders in film. Survived by his wife Catherine, his 3 sons, and 14 grandchildren, Frank Price leaves behind a towering legacy built on vision, resilience, and an unwavering belief in the power of story. Jerry Adler, the seasoned Broadway producer who found a second career as a beloved character actor, has passed away at the age of 96. Best known for his memorable role as Hesh Rabkin on HBO's The Sopranos, Adler appeared across all 6 seasons as a trusted advisor to Tony Soprano, a role that showcased his commanding presence and dry wit. Before his acting breakout, Adler spent decades behind the scenes on Broadway with over 50 production credits to his name, shaping the very fabric of American theater long before stepping in front of the camera. Born in Brooklyn on February 4, 1929, Adler was surrounded by show business from the start. With his father managing for the legendary Group Theatre and his cousin being the iconic acting coach Stella Adler, the stage was always part of his life. In the 1980s, he transitioned to television production and later in his 60s launched an unexpected acting career after being cast in The Public Eye, 1992. That role opened the door to dozens of performances in film and television, including Rescue Me, The Good Wife, and A Most Violent Year, as well as the acclaimed indie drama Driveways, which he filmed in his 90s. Adler's legacy was further cemented with the release of his 2024 memoir, Too Funny for Words, backstage tales from Broadway, television, and the movies, offering a candid and humorous look at his remarkable journey. Known for his warmth, professionalism, and undeniable charm, Jerry Adler leaves behind a body of work that spans generations. He is survived by his wife Joan Laxman and a lifetime of stories both on stage and on screen. Eduardo Serra, the visionary cinematographer behind Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2, has passed away at the age of 81. Born in Lisbon in 1943, Serra was a master of light and composition, earning international acclaim for his poetic visual storytelling. He remains the only Portuguese cinematographer to be nominated twice for an Academy Award for The Wings of the Dove and Girl with a Pearl Earring. His artistry turned light into narrative, enriching every frame with depth and emotion that transcended language or genre. Serra's work extended far beyond Hollywood. In Europe, he formed lasting collaborations with celebrated directors like Patrice Lant and Claude Chabrol, contributing to films such as The Hairdresser's Husband, The Swindle, and The Flower of Evil. He brought his signature elegance to M. Night Shyamalan's Unbreakable and to visually complex productions like What Dreams May Come. But it was in Girl with a Pearl Earring that his reverence for natural lighting shined most. Serra once said that recreating Vermeer's relationship with light felt like touching the painter's creative process, a rare opportunity for any cinematographer. Serra's influence reached generations of filmmakers and artists. He was a beloved figure at the Cambridge Festival, where his quiet wisdom and dedication to craft inspired both peers and students. With a filmography that spans continents and decades, Serra's legacy is one of beauty, integrity, and light, both on screen and in spirit. Terence Stamp, the captivating English actor whose piercing gaze and commanding presence made him unforgettable across 6 decades of film, has passed away at the age of 87. Best remembered for his chilling portrayal of General Zod in the Superman films and his haunting turn in The Limey, Stamp first burst onto the screen in 1962 with Billy Budd, earning an Oscar nomination for his debut. His early roles in The Collector, Far from the Madding Crowd, and Tiara established him as both a heartthrob and a bold actor willing to take creative risks. In the 1980s, Stamp's return to the mainstream spotlight included standout performances in Wall Street, The Hit, and Young Guns. But it was the 1990s that saw a remarkable resurgence. He delivered a groundbreaking performance as a trans woman in The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and captivated critics in The Limey, where Steven Soderbergh used actual footage from Stamp's earlier films to deepen the character's history. He also appeared in Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, and delivered a comedic turn in Bowfinger as the guru of a fictional cult. Stamp's later years were filled with diverse roles, from The Haunted Mansion and Valkyrie to Unfinished Song, in which he starred opposite Vanessa Redgrave. Born in Stepney, London, he studied acting alongside Michael Caine and eventually became a mentor, even recommending Caine for the role in Alfie. Terence Stamp's legacy is one of daring choices, cinematic evolution, and timeless performances. He leaves behind a body of work that continues to inspire, challenge, and endure. Dan Tana, the legendary restaurateur who turned a small West Hollywood bungalow into one of the most iconic celebrity hangouts in Los Angeles, has passed away at the age of 90 in Belgrade, Serbia. Born Darivoj Tanasovic in Yugoslavia, Tana's life was a remarkable journey from teenage soccer star to Hollywood actor to founder of the legendary Dan Tana's restaurant. Since 1964, the Little Yellow House on Santa Monica Boulevard became a second home to stars like Frank Sinatra, Jack Nicholson, George Clooney, and Al Pacino, all drawn to its late-night charm, Italian menu, and Dan's old-school hospitality. Before the fame of his restaurant, Tana pursued acting after arriving in Hollywood, appearing in The Enemy Below and series like The Untouchables and Peter Gunn. But it was his time as a maitre at La Scala that inspired him to open a place of his own. After transforming a burger stand into a classy Italian airy with extended hours, word quickly spread. A positive LA Times review and loyal clientele turned Dan Tana into a sanctuary for Hollywood's elite. A place where deals were made and legends dined in comfort and privacy. Beyond food, Tana stayed passionate about soccer, managing teams in the US, England, and Serbia. Though he sold the restaurant in 2009 to longtime friend Sonia Perenovic, who preserved its original charm, Dan Tana's legacy lives on in every V cutlet, a la George Clooney, and every toast at the red checkered tables. He is survived by his wife Bilana and daughters Gabrielle and Katerina, leaving behind a legacy of elegance, warmth, and timeless storytelling. Michael Sloan, the acclaimed television writer and producer who co-created the original The Equalizer series, has passed away at age 78 in New York City. Born into a family of entertainers, his grandfather a vaudeville icon and his parents Broadway producers, Sloan's path into storytelling seemed destined. He began his career in England with early films like Assassin and Moments before gaining widespread attention for writing the fan-favorite Columbo episode Now You See Him, the only one ever written by a freelancer. Returning to the U.S., Sloan quickly made his mark at Universal, contributing to shows like Quincy, Meme Loud, Battlestar Galactica, and BJ and the Bear, earning an Emmy nomination along the way. But his most enduring legacy came in 1985 with The Equalizer, a gritty crime drama he created with Richard Lindheim. The series ran for 4 seasons and later evolved into a successful film franchise starring Denzel Washington, as well as a CBS reboot with Queen Latifah. Sloan remained involved in all iterations, keeping the spirit of the original alive for new generations. Outside of television, Sloan wrote the Equalizer novels and a memoir, One More Thing, Sir, chronicling his Hollywood adventures. He also penned plays and worked on classic series like The Outer Limits, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and Kung Fu. The legend continues. Known for his creativity and deep love for animals, Sloan leaves behind a legacy of compelling stories and enduring characters. He has survived by his wife Melissa, their children Piper and Griffin, and his sister Judy. David Stratton, one of the most respected voices in global film criticism and a champion of cinematic art in Australia, has died at the age of 85. Known for his decadescal-long contributions to the Australian Variety and his beloved on-air partnership with Margaret Pomeranz on The Movie Show and At the Movies, Stratton was a fixture in the lives of moviegoers across Australia. His sharp insight, encyclopedic knowledge, and deep appreciation for the medium earned him recognition not just as a critic, but as a true guardian of film culture. Born in Trowbridge, England in 1939, Stratton fell in love with cinema at an early age and left school to pursue his passion. After moving to Australia in 1963, he quickly rose to prominence, becoming director of the Sydney Film Festival in 1966. He boldly expanded the festival's reach, championing controversial international films and resisting censorship. His fearless curatorial choices even drew the attention of Australia's National Intelligence Agency. But his integrity never wavered. He believed cinema should challenge, question and connect. Stratton's impact continued far beyond the festival circuit. For nearly 3 decades, he and Pomerantz debated film on national television, offering audiences lively, honest and often contrasting perspectives. He also lectured on film history, served as a juror at festivals worldwide, and authored several books, including I Peed on Fellini and Australia at the Movies. His legacy is a testament to his lifelong love affair with storytelling combined with his natural comedic timing, made him the perfect television personality. The success of Pawn Stars exceeded everyone's expectations. Within its first season, the show was attracting millions of viewers per episode, making it one of the History Channel's most popular programs. Rick's knowledge and personality were central to this success. He possessed the rare ability to make seemingly mundane transactions fascinating, turning each episode into a mini-documentary about American history and culture. As Pawn Stars gained popularity, Rick became a household name. The show's success led to numerous spin-offs, international versions, and merchandising opportunities. Rick found himself traveling the country for promotional appearances, book signings, and speaking engagements. He authored several books including License to Pawn, Deals, Steals, and My Life at the Gold and Silver, which became a bestseller and further cemented his status as a cultural icon. The television success transformed not just Rick's life, but the entire Las Vegas economy around the gold and silver pawn shop. The store became a major tourist destination with thousands of visitors daily hoping to catch a glimpse of the Pawn Stars cast and perhaps appear on camera themselves. The economic impact extended to nearby businesses, restaurants, and hotels, as the show put Las Vegas's downtown area on the map for millions of tourists who might otherwise have never ventured beyond the famous Strip. Rick's television persona was carefully crafted but authentically grounded in his real personality. He portrayed himself as the knowledgeable mediator, often serving as the bridge between his father's old-school approach and his son Corey's modern perspective. His catchphrases and expressions became part of popular culture, and his expertise was sought after by collectors, historians, and fellow television personalities across the country. Throughout his rise to fame and the demanding schedule that came with running a successful pawnshop business and starring in a hit television show, Rick Harrison faced significant health challenges that would test his resilience and force him to make dramatic lifestyle changes. The pressures of celebrity combined with decades of poor eating habits and a sedentary lifestyle took a considerable toll on his physical well-being. Rick's most publicized health struggle has been his ongoing battle with obesity and its related complications. For much of his adult life, Rick carried excess weight that put strain on his cardiovascular system and overall health. The demanding schedule of filming Pawn Stars, managing the pawn shop, and fulfilling various promotional obligations left little time for proper nutrition or regular exercise. Like many Americans in similar situations, Rick found himself caught in a cycle where stress led to poor eating choices, which in turn contributed to weight gain and additional health problems. The wake-up call came when Rick's weight reached dangerous levels, significantly impacting his quality of life and potentially threatening his longevity. Medical professionals warned him that without intervention, he faced serious risks including diabetes, heart disease, and other obesity-related complications. The reality of these health risks combined with his desire to be present for his family and continue his successful career motivated Rick to take decisive action. In 2010, Rick made the difficult but necessary decision to undergo gastric lap band surgery, a bariatric procedure designed to help severely obese individuals lose weight by restricting the amount of food the stomach can hold. This decision was not made lightly, as Rick understood that the surgery was not a quick fix, but rather the beginning of a lifelong commitment to changing his relationship with food and adopting healthier lifestyle habits. The gastric lap band procedure proved to be successful for Rick, helping him lose a significant amount of weight over the following months and years. However, the surgery was just the beginning of his health journey. Rick had to completely restructure his eating habits, learning to consume smaller portions and make more nutritious food choices. This transformation required tremendous discipline and represented a fundamental change in how he approached meals and nutrition. Rick's weight loss journey became a source of inspiration for many of his fans who struggled with similar health challenges. He was open about his experiences, sharing both the successes and the ongoing challenges of maintaining a healthier lifestyle. His transparency about the surgical intervention helped destigmatize bariatric procedures and encouraged others to consider all available options when facing serious health risks related to obesity. The physical transformation that resulted from Rick's commitment to better health had numerous positive effects beyond weight loss. His energy levels increased dramatically, allowing him to keep up with a demanding schedule of filming, business operations, and public appearances with greater ease. His confidence improved, and he reported feeling better, both physically and mentally, than he had in years. However, Rick's health journey was not without setbacks and ongoing challenges. Maintaining significant weight loss requires constant vigilance and lifestyle management, and Rick has been candid about the fact that it remains an ongoing process rather than a one-time achievement. He has had to develop new coping mechanisms for stress that don't involve food, and he has had to maintain his commitment to healthier eating, even when traveling or facing particularly demanding periods in his career. The success of Rick's health transformation also inspired him to become more physically active. While he had previously lived a largely sedentary lifestyle, the weight loss made it possible for him to engage in activities that had been difficult or impossible when he was carrying excess weight. This increased activity level contributed to his overall health improvement and helped him maintain his weight loss over the long term. Rick's openness about his health struggles and transformation resonated with audiences who saw him as relatable and authentic. Rather than hiding his challenges or pretending that success came easily, he shared the real difficulties of changing deeply ingrained habits and maintaining healthier lifestyle choices in the face of a demanding career and public scrutiny. Throughout his journey to success and fame, Rick Harrison has endured profound personal losses that have shaped his character and perspective on life. These tragedies have tested his resilience and forced him to navigate grief while maintaining his public persona and business responsibilities. The most significant and public of these losses was the death of his father, Richard Benjamin Harrison. Known to millions of Pawn Stars viewers as the Old Man, Richard "the Old Man" Harrison was not only Rick's father, but also his business partner, mentor, and co-star on Pawn Stars. The elder Harrison had been battling Parkinson's disease for several years, a progressive neurological disorder that gradually affected his mobility, speech, and cognitive function. The old man's decline was particularly difficult for Rick to witness, as he watched his father, a man who had always been strong, independent, and sharp-witted, slowly lose these defining characteristics to the relentless progression of the disease. The old man's health deteriorated significantly in his final years, and he eventually required full-time care. This period was emotionally challenging for Rick, who had to balance his father's increasing care needs with the demands of running the pawn shop and continuing to film the television series. The family made the difficult decision to move the old man into a care facility where he could receive the specialized attention his condition required. On June 25, 2018, Richard "the Old Man" Harrison passed away at the age of 77. His death marked the end of an era not only for the Harrison family, but also for the millions of Pawn Stars fans who had grown to love his grumpy personality, quick wit, and no-nonsense approach to business. The old man's death was widely reported in the media, and tributes poured in from fans around the world who felt they had lost a beloved family member. For Rick, the loss of his father represented far more than the death of a family member. It was the loss of his business mentor, his connection to the past, and one of the foundational figures in his life. The old man had taught Rick everything he knew about the pawnshop business, from how to evaluate items and negotiate deals to how to treat customers with respect and fairness. His father's practical wisdom and life experience had been invaluable resources throughout Rick's career. The grief of losing his father was compounded by the public nature of the loss. While most people can grieve privately, Rick had to navigate his mourning while continuing to fulfill his television and business obligations. The Pawn Stars production team had to address the old man's absence from the show, and Rick found himself having to discuss his father's death in interviews and public appearances while still processing his own grief. In addition to the loss of his father, Rick has faced other personal challenges and family difficulties that have remained largely private, but have nonetheless affected him deeply. The pressures of fame and success have taken a toll on his personal relationships, including multiple marriages and divorces that have brought their own emotional challenges and complications. Rick's first marriage ended in divorce, and he has spoken about the difficulties of maintaining personal relationships while building a business and dealing with the pressures of television fame. The demands of his career, combined with the personality traits that made him successful in business, such as his focus on work and his strong opinions, sometimes created challenges in his personal life. The loss of privacy that came with television fame also affected Rick's family relationships. Family members who had never sought the spotlight found themselves thrust into public attention, and this change brought both opportunities and challenges. The dynamic between family members shifted as they navigated their new roles as public figures while trying to maintain authentic relationships with each other. Rick has also dealt with the broader challenges that come with success and fame, including the loss of old friendships and the difficulty of knowing whether new relationships are based on genuine connection or motivated by his celebrity status and financial success. This isolation, common among public figures, has been something Rick has had to navigate while maintaining his public persona as an approachable and down-to-earth individual. Despite these personal losses and challenges, Rick has demonstrated remarkable resilience and the ability to find meaning and purpose in the face of adversity. He has often spoken about how his father's death motivated him to work harder to preserve the old man's legacy and to continue the family business in a way that would make his father proud. As of 2025, Rick Harrison continues to be a prominent figure in both the entertainment industry and the business world, having successfully adapted to the changes and challenges that have come with decades of fame and the evolution of his career. Following the profound loss of his father and the various personal and health challenges he has faced, Rick has entered a new phase of his life characterized by renewed focus, diversified business interests, and a deeper appreciation for family and legacy. The gold and silver pawn shop remains the cornerstone of Rick's business empire. Though it has evolved significantly from its humble beginnings, the shop has become one of Las Vegas's most recognizable tourist destinations, attracting hundreds of thousands of visitors annually who come hoping to experience the magic of Pawn Stars firsthand. Rick has masterfully transformed what was once a local pawn shop into a global brand that generates revenue through multiple streams, including tourism, merchandising, and licensing deals. Pawn Stars continues to be a significant part of Rick's professional life. Though the show has undergone changes following the old man's passing and the natural evolution that comes with a long-running series, Rick has taken on a more prominent leadership role in the show, both in front of and behind the cameras. His expertise and personality remain central to the program's appeal, and he has worked to ensure that the show maintains its educational value while adapting to changing audience preferences and media consumption patterns. Beyond the television show, Rick has expanded his business portfolio to include various ventures that leverage his expertise in collectibles, antiques, and American history. He has become a sought-after consultant for collectors and investors looking to navigate the complex world of historical artifacts and memorabilia. His reputation for knowledge and fair dealing has made him a trusted figure in the collecting community, and he regularly participates in auction events and authentication processes. Rick's entrepreneurial spirit has led him to explore opportunities in digital media and e-commerce. Understanding that the future of retail and entertainment lies increasingly in online platforms, he has worked to establish a digital presence that allows fans and customers to interact with the gold and silver pawn shop brand from anywhere in the world. This includes online authentication services, virtual consultations, and digital content that extends the Pawn Stars experience beyond the traditional television format. The health transformation that Rick underwent continues to be an important part of his current lifestyle. He has maintained much of his weight loss and has integrated regular health monitoring and maintenance into his routine. This commitment to health has given him the energy and stamina needed to pursue his various business interests, while also allowing him more quality time with his family. Rick often speaks about how his improved health has enhanced his overall quality of life and his ability to be present for important moments. Family relationships have taken on renewed importance in Rick's current phase of life. Following his father's death, Rick has become more intentional about spending time with his remaining family members and ensuring that the lessons and values passed down by the old man continue to influence the next generation. He has worked to strengthen his relationship with his son Corey, who has taken on increased responsibilities in the family business, and he has been more present for his other children and grandchildren. Rick's current romantic life includes his marriage to Deanna Bird, whom he married in 2013. This relationship has provided stability and companionship during some of the more challenging periods of his recent years, including his father's illness and death. Deanna has been supportive of Rick's career while also encouraging him to maintain balance between his professional obligations and personal life. In terms of community involvement and philanthropy, Rick has become more active in giving back to the Las Vegas community that has supported his success. He participates in charity events, supports local historical preservation efforts, and uses his platform to promote education about American history and the importance of preserving cultural artifacts. His involvement in these causes reflects a growing awareness of his role as a public figure and his responsibility to contribute positively to society. Looking toward the future, Rick continues to explore new opportunities while remaining grounded in the principles that brought him success. He has expressed interest in writing additional books, potentially exploring topics beyond his pawnshop experiences to include his thoughts on business, family, and the lessons he has learned throughout his journey. There has also been discussion about documentary projects that would allow him to delve deeper into historical topics that have always fascinated him. The legacy aspect of Rick's current focus cannot be understated. Having lost his father and witnessed how quickly life can change, Rick has become more intentional about preserving and sharing the knowledge and experiences he has accumulated over his decades in business and entertainment. He regularly mentors young entrepreneurs and shares his insights about building successful businesses, navigating fame, and maintaining authenticity in the public eye. Rick Harrison's current life represents a mature phase of a remarkable American success story, one that began in a small pawn shop and evolved into a cultural phenomenon that has entertained and educated millions of people around the world. His ability to adapt, overcome challenges, and continue growing both personally and professionally serves as an inspiration to others facing their own obstacles and transitions.